as promised, we're taking you, catapulting you, if you like, from Accra to Jirapa in the Upper West region, to the Cosy Hills Hotel. That's where the action is going down. Enjoy.
If people are threatening you to come back, still, you don't want to come back anyway. Now, let's get it straight. With so many stunning and breathtaking natural landscapes and an impressive area of rare and elusive wildlife, including lions to see, as well as the numerous family-friendly facilities, you should know how the places are lying behind us. The quad bikes. Have you used one before?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. The one here.
They are fantastic. No.
Yeah.
We are yet to go on the quad bikes at Jirapa, Dubai.
And we are talking about the Royal Cosy Hill Safari Resort in Jirapa, where we are talking to you from this part of the world. This should be your preferred, the only preferred, the one and only place. If you have been to the rest, this is your perfect place to live your life. The African Safari destination. These numbers you should be calling now: 0501 169 4280 or 0248 844 463. And you can look for my favorite, our favorite, Flora. Superwoman by all standards and qualifications. She will deliver everything that you want at your doorstep. Every wonderful thing that is available in the world, this is where you find it. And I'm endorsing it because I've felt it. Yeah, I know for wasting, you can only hear and see and say. But for those of us with experience, this is one of the best experiences you can have in your entire life.
Yeah, Raymond. Raymond has fact-checked Jirapa Dubai.
100%.
All right, listen, if you want financial support to make your dreams a reality, then let me introduce you to National Investment Bank's personal loans. Now, it's your key to unlocking a world of possibilities, whether it's renovating your home, planning a dream vacation this Christmas, or, pursuing higher education in the new year. NIB's personal loan offers you the perfect solution, and it's tailored to your needs. With competitive interest rates and flexible repayment options of up to 60 months, you can achieve your goals for less. So say yes to seizing opportunities today with NIB, your CIMG award-winning, and we know a bit about that, bank with over 60 years of experience by your side. Apply hassle-free at your nearest branch. Their dedicated team is on hand to guide you every step of the way. You can also call 0302 428 500 or use this toll-free number if you prefer, 0800 007 777. You remember that, won't you? And unlock a world of possibilities with National Investment Bank's personal loans. National Investment Bank, empowering your aspirations, securing your future. Terms and conditions apply.
Kojo, we need to welcome very specially a wonderful audience on TV2.
Yeah.
We sure should be, they can see me very close to a Sidwa. I'm unsure about those on my right, but clearly this is...
Yes, indeed. It's a whole gathering of all of your favorites right here in Jirapa. So Maxwell Agwagba is here with us. We have Asiedwa Kumia, and of course, there's this guy called Raymond talking about the place. It's been such an exciting journey so far, hasn't it? And if you don't mind, I'll start with you, Maxwell, because yesterday you went on a bit of an odyssey around the area, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, first at Woolen. Woolen is just about 5 minutes drive away from this place. Yeah, it's also a place to see. And I'm happy that, the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel has become like the magnet, attracting people to the Upper West region. So it's not just you coming to the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel to experience what they have, like what I saw this morning. Woke up in the morning, coming to eat breakfast, and I saw a peacock at my door saying good morning to me. It's not just that experience. It's also about having a taste and a bite of the Upper West region. So just 5 minutes away from this place, we'll be going there again. It's Woolen, and Woolen, it's a very nice place. You have to see it. It has some historical caves that were used as a hiding place by some of the indigents during the slave raids.
Right.
So you get in there, you have a feel of it, can be very cool. And our tour guide was telling us about how sometimes they use stones to produce some xylophone-like, sounds. And I had a taste of that. In fact, in one of the caves, in between some of the rocks, when I got in there and I started talking, my voice was echoing to the point that I felt it had been auto-tuned. Yeah. You really need to experience that. And I'm told that the locals...
Special T-Pain effect.
I think this is the origin of the T-Pain effect.
The Morris Babyface case.
You really have to experience that, And I'm told in the olden days, some of the locals and the indigenous then will go there, have fun there, as kind of like a source of entertainment, to the people. You also have to see the rocks. The mushroom rocks. Yes, the mushroom rock is also there at Woolen, just about 5 minutes drive from where we are sitting right now. One thing that I saw that made me, I was astounded actually about the powerful force of nature. It's a rock which has a tree atop it. You can't even imagine how a tree will grow, would have its roots, buried deep into the rock and then down there. And the tree is sitting beautifully, on the rock. And you begin to imagine, how did this happen in the first place? There's also another rock that you see, you think that they've actually used adhesives, to put it together, but no, it's just nature's powerful, work on display there at Woolen. So I will encourage everyone to go to Woolen. If you come to the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel, you definitely have to go to Woolen to experience the place, have a taste of the history, of the place. We're also at Golu. Yes, Golu. We're at Golu. We're at Tumu as well. You have to see Golu. Golu is the hometown and the birthplace of Dr. Hila Liman. We were there. Yes, we saw his tomb as well there at Golu. And then we went to Tumu, where some diasporans actually trace their roots. In fact, the Canton family trace their roots to Tumu. So there we met some elders who took us through the history and how they connected the dots and all of that. It's an interesting story.
That's
you have to be told.
hometown.
Exactly. Fentio's hometown.
Yes. That's the thing about tourism, okay? I mean, it creates memories. I mean, you're probably sitting at home looking at your kids and thinking, what can I do with these children during the holidays? Something they will remember and always say, do you remember when mom and dad took us, or all the way to Jirapa? So this is it. This is the reason why such journeys are so important. Now, we're here at Jirapa, Dubai, Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort. Now, apart from it being a beautiful, beautiful hotel with a wonderful, I've never seen a presidential villa as impressive as the one here at Jirapa, Dubai. Yeah. But apart from what is here at the hotel, the one thing that makes it unique is the safari.
Yeah, it is.
And you got to experience that yesterday, didn't you?
I did yesterday, and I did this morning as well. And the question here is, why would you want to pay thousands of dollars to go to a different African country to have a safari experience when you can have it all here right in Ghana, in the Upper West region, right here in Jirapa? I started off, the whole tour started off with seeing the alpaca. And I got close, feeling the alpaca, so soft, the wool, looking at how calm the animal was, and having to see a 60-plus-year-old tortoise, and having to hear exactly how the mating process of these tortoises goes on and everything. It was just impressive. I was impressed by that in particular. Very, very impressed. Having to, to have heard the tour guide say that, they can only go 30 seconds. And not just that, but, how they mate, how you can differentiate between the male and the female, looking at them physically. I mean, I just can't wait to go back there and show viewers exactly what I'm trying to say. It would give a better description. Okay, so
the tortoise actually mates for ages. It's the lions that go for 30 seconds. Right?
So they do mate for age. Oh, sorry. So they do mate for ages. Yes, we've got wildlife experience here. We're experiencing all sort of things over here. So like I said, it started off seeing the alpaca, then we saw the tortoise, and not just that, we went ahead to see the almighty Lion King, the king of the jungle, and we saw the king himself and his ladies, his queens, and it was a wonderful experience seeing them. But they were too calm at that time because apparently they were full, and so we did not really see them in their full nature as to them walking around and probably just doing their own thing. But I hope that we would have a better view. And today they're going to be fed, and so we are hoping that we will capture that and show to viewers the lions being fed. The interesting thing is that these lions are fed like thrice a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and they are fed 3 cattle. Every single week. Yes, every single week. They are fed.
Almost as much as Raymond eats.
I've not reached that level yet. Can you believe that?
Wow, Raymond.
Can you believe that? I mean,
Wow.
Please note that Raymond says he hasn't reached that level yet.
Yes.
Okay,
He's working
towards it. Okay, so viewers, I just can't wait to our listeners, to those of you watching.
Oh, you left out your wonderful experience with the baboon.
Oh, yeah, so I was going to come to that. I was going to actually leave the better part for the last part.
Okay.
Because that was just, the peak of it all for me, the climax of everything. The baboon engagement. But before that, we saw the ostriches as well and the hippopotamus. It was interesting to know the difference, how you can tell the difference between the female and the male, that the female naturally has makeup on. Natural makeup on, so you can see the eyeshadow, the long eyelashes, and like, what? You know what? This is the best place to be at. If you're looking for the perfect place to spend Christmas, just opt for Royal Cosy Hills Hotel right here in the Upper West region and just have a wonderful experience with family and friends. Now let's come to the baboon experience.
What happened to you?
So we got to the cage where the baboons are, the male and female. So the male is called KK and the female is called Magdalene. And we got there and the tour guide said that the male baboon, who is KK, has a very interesting liking towards females, human females, not baboon females, human females. And it was very interesting that right after the tour guide said that, you could literally physically see the interest that KK was having towards me. Like KK was literally looking at me from head to toe whilst I was seated in the car. And it was very interesting. I don't know if this is appropriate for me to say on TV. Or even on radio, the parts where,
Well, I mean, you can use proper biological language to educate the children.
Okay. So something what did happen, anyways. So it was very interesting to have seen KK, just sizing me up, and then right when the car was moving, he started shaking the gate to the cage, trying to open the gate to come out, and so
even with his wife present. And there's a story actually behind the name Magdalene, the name of the female baboon. The tour guide said that so a tourist came there, and then KK decided to take off the hair of the female tourist, and then put it on Magdalene, the female baboon. Yes.
And then that was when they found out that the tourist was called Magdalene, and so they decided to give the female baboon name Magdalene to her. So yes, KK just wanted his wife to look better by putting the wig on her head.
So I guess a word of warning to those of you who are going to come and visit the baboons. If you have spare parts, don't get too close.
Don't get too close. Yeah.
You never know what will happen.
Exactly.
But as for KK, he clearly has very good taste.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
He does.
And look, there's so much more to see here at Jirapa, Dubai. We've had some amazing food. We've also been treated to some really, really good service. And it's continuing because later today we're going to get to experience even more of that. But there is a big conversation to have on the back of all this. And especially because we've had the opportunity to see this and never knew before we came here that there was any such thing. Today we want to really understand why tourism in this part of the country seems so neglected in spite of the numerous viable attractions all around us.
In circa 2021, I was in South Africa. I missed out on the opportunity of being at the Kruger National Park because I had COVID whilst there. And I thought I'd missed the opportunity of coming close to zebras and lions and all of that. And then we came here, and then I had opportunity to get very close, less than 50 meters close to zebras, and very close to lions, see them raw, in their cages. And
Also, you had that opportunity to see the lion.
Yeah, I had the
roar.
opportunity to see the Lion King, raw. Yeah, it's something you definitely, want to see. And I'm excited particularly also about how the people in the region are happy about how the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel is actually attracting more people into the region, because they feel everything is centered, in the Greater Accra region.
Yeah.
We're focusing so much on other parts of the country and not the Upper West region, when indeed they have a lot, to offer. Like Asiedua mentioned, you don't have to travel, to another country to have the ultimate safari experience.
That's true.
This morning around 6 a.m. when we were driving to the safari park, we're going in the vehicle, seeing the sunrise, like a proper savannah setting, proper safari park setting. You have to be here to see it. You have to be here to experience it, yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing, before we came, and we don't mind admitting this, that before we came, we were reluctant.
That's true.
Very.
I mean, we were all thinking about the distance and how far we have. In fact, you guys even came by road, which was mad, right? So before we came, we were all a bit daunted. And we were thinking, now, Charlie, what
This is a lot of trouble
that we have to travel all the But the minute you get here, you understand why. The minute you get here.
You don't want to leave.
So listen, don't let anybody discourage you. It's an adventure. It's a road trip, or it's a flight and a 1-hour drive away from wherever you are right now. So listen, take the time, book the trip, come to Jirapa, Dubai, and see why this place is getting all the hype that it's getting this morning. There's more. Okay, we have to really talk about why this place and other places like this in remote parts of the country are neglected by the big tourism plans that this nation is making. And we'll be talking to those who can really educate us on the history of this place and the potential of it. We'll hear from Aziz Pelpo. He's a tour operations manager here at Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort, Jirapa, Dubai. We hear from Justice Francis Corbier. He happens to be a retired justice at the Court of Appeal, and he's one of the monumental people behind the creation of this place. We'll also hear from Justice Donlabong Dina. I hope I've said that right. Now, he happens to be the regent for the Jirapa traditional area. Reverend Father Ben Bacheye is here as well. And Reverend Father Ben is the parish priest for the St. Joseph's Catholic Church here in Jirapa. And the Catholic Church is part of the rich tapestry of history for this place. And he will be telling us that fabled rain story that we told you all about. It's all coming up here on JoyNews, Joy Prime, and of course, Joy 99.7 FM after these. Attractions. Why is this a mystery? Why is it a discovery to us? Why don't we have buses full of people making their way up here on a daily basis?
And you check those events released for this festive season by the Ghana Tourism Authority. I cannot see a single. This place should be on that list.
It should be front and
in
center.
Fact, yes, the very things that we are seeking to promote just in the south of this country, some of them, this one blows it out of the water completely. So how come a place like this and the very things they have to offer, even in the region or even in this particular district alone, if you count them, you'll be shocked. Why are we not putting it on the list?
You know what? We're going to have a conversation to get to the heart of this. And to help us with that, we have a tour guide, we have a judge, we have a regent, and a priest.
Yeah.
It sounds like the beginning of a story, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Now, we're going to start with Justice Francis Corbier. Now, Justice Corbier is a retired justice of the Court of Appeals. He is a very integral part of the origin story of Jirapa, Dubai. We also have here with us Justice Donlabong Dina, and he is the regent for Jirapa traditional area. My lord and good morning and welcome to you both.
Good morning.
We're so glad you could make it because in order to make sense of anything, you need to know where it came from. Now, maybe we will start with the area of Jirapa and the magical story behind how the traditional and Christian religions came to cohabit here.
Okay.
In fact,
all right.
I would love to start with you, but
Okay.
just before you come in let me remind you, wherever you're listening in the country, that sometimes buying your car insurance is not the problem. The problem is when you forget to renew it, and then you get into trouble with the police or you have an accident. Well, instant car insurance is now available on Hubtel. Get your instant car insurance sticker at any time. So easy, no long terms. Just install the Hubtel app, enter your car number for an instant insurance sticker. You can also set a reminder for your next renewal date. Go to hubtel.com/app to install your Hubtel app and set a reminder to renew your car insurance today. Hubtel is everything you.
Now, if you want to also save big this Christmas with fantastic discounts, what you need to do is buy any appliance from Derek Limited. That's the Whirlpool people. Whirlpool are premium home appliances ranging from air conditioners, chest freezers, fridges, washing machines, dryers, gas cookers, microwave ovens, water dispensers. There's also the 4K smart LED television and many more trusted brands from across the globe. Visit our showroom in La of the Osula Road, and also there's one in Achimota. There's also the Spring Test Bachuna one in Kumasi. You go straight to Ahoji roundabout. Then in Takrady near Market Circle, and the closest one to us Kojo is at Tamale at the Waterworks Road, Chogu. Now times are difficult, we know, so don't just buy any appliance anywhere. Buy quality, and you can save plenty cash this Christmas, and also get free gifts anyway. Unparalleled after sales service is also always guaranteed. Rush now or call us on 0302 778126, okay, to 0243 690 034. That etheric Whirlpool still sensing the difference. That difference, the difference you get with specialized appliances from here.
Absolutely. All right, listen, let's get into our conversation. And we're starting off with Justice Francis Korbier, retired Justice of the Court of Appeal, and Justice Don Lagbong Dina, who happens to be the Regent for Jirapa traditional area. So we wanted the origin stories So maybe you can start us off. We heard that there was a wonderful story of hospitality and spirituality that brought the Christians and the traditional people of Jirapa together.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Youngson. I think you heard right. Jirapa is a town that you can say has all the three religions in town. Before the coming of the Christian religion, the town was more or less we had the African traditional religion and also the Muslims. And most of us were Muslims by then. But when the Catholic change came, they were still welcome. And our great-grandfather, Ansule Ghana I, was a Muslim. But he settled the Christian religion, and they all cohabitated very well. And it's no doubt that Jirapa has become what it is today because all the three religions still cohabitate, and we are very accommodating to every other religion that is coming to town. So that's been Jirapa from the word go.
What's this story we hear about the rain and some prayers that brought rain?
Yeah, there came a time that Jirapa was hard hit by some drought and some locusts. Unfortunately, it came at a time that we had the Catholic missionaries in town. We had performed all the rituals that we were hoping to get rid of those calamities, but we weren't seeing top. So our great-grandfather, Ghana Ansule I, felt that he should put the Catholic Church to test. So they made a request to the missionaries that this is the problem we have at hand. So now that you have also come with your God, let us see how effective or potent your God is. So the Catholic missionaries were called to duty to say a prayer to their God to cast away the calamity that has befallen the town. And it was very mysterious, and the challenge was accepted by the Catholic missionaries, and they also said their prayers, and God being so wonderful, decided that the rain should come and wash away all the locusts and then the drought that we were experiencing. So
Wow.
it kind of made the people felt that yes, then the God that they have come with is also potent. And that was how come some of our people who were Muslims got converted to the Christian religion.
Wow.
And then that has been how things have been. And we, as a people, we keep trying God anyway. So wherever we go and get results,
Yes.
then definitely we have our faith on it.
Wonderful.
So for the fact that the rains fell when the missionaries prayed, it got our people convinced that their God is also potent.
Amazing. Amazing. I love that story.
Yeah.
And in a while, I'll get you to tell us a little bit more about what else is available in terms of tourism in this area and the rich traditional culture of Jirapa.
Okay.
But before that, Justice Corbia, I was so excited when I learned that you'll be joining us this morning because you played a very pivotal role in the creation of this facility, the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel. In fact, as I understand it, you named it.
Well, not exactly. I contributed to the naming of the hotel.
Right.
Mr. Johnson asked me what name he should give to the hotel.
Sir Johnson is the owner of this
The
place.
owner of this place, yeah. So I suggested a name, and he also came up with a name, and eventually he took part of the name I suggested and added part of his name, and we came up with the name of the hotel.
It was a collaboration.
It was a collaboration in giving the name to the hotel.
Yeah.
That's
But tell us about your relationship with Mr. Johnson and how you came together, to fulfill this dream.
Yes, it was a very interesting thing that happened. I used to be the MP. In fact, I was the first MP for the area at the beginning of the inception of the 1992 Constitution.
Right.
And I had a dream of making Jirapa the center of tourism for the region, at least. And my vision was to have the assembly built an assembly meeting place at the district assembly area. But I couldn't fulfill my vision before I left office. So when Mr. Johnson started this place, and he started in a very interesting way. He started by by planting plantain and banana on a hilltop, which was not very common in this area. And he asked me to come and look at what he was doing. So I came and looked at the plantain and banana plantation on a hilltop. And I said, oh, you have been very interesting, but I'll support you anyway. So he continued for a few years, and then cut down the plantation and started putting up the buildings. That's how this hotel started. Started as a plantation. Then he cut it down and then put up the buildings. And that is how this hotel started. And later, today, it is what you see.
Now,
But I was giving him all the encouragement because he was fulfilling my personal dream. I had no choice but to support him. And especially it was located here, which on this hilltop, which everybody then started to admire and see what the young man's vision was. which are shared in.
What was it like in the early days when the building came up? And I understand that he started off by having a swimming pool. How did the locals react to the place?
Well, it started with a presidential villa. And it was like a personal thing. Too many people were not going there, were not allowed to go there because it was a kind of private thing. With all the swimming pools, I don't know whether you've gone there.
Yes, we
but there are about 3 swimming pools there.
Yes. Yeah.
Presidential suites and all of that. And then later added the commercial site, which is where we are. So people in Jirapa were very excited, especially when he came up with the commercial site. And you know there's a swimming pool here too, where people from all over the region come to swim in. So the people in town is creating jobs, is creating all kinds of facilities for the town people and even people from outside the town and the region. The people who serve here, they are not only from Jirapa town, they are not even only from the region. I've seen people who have come from Accra to serve here in all kinds of capacities. So the hotel is not only giving employment to the town people, it's giving employment to people from all over Ghana and even from outside Ghana. I've seen some people from Europe who have come here to do some things by way of employment to the hotel.
Now, this is such a unique facility. It's got this wonderful safari experience.
Right.
And then it's got the beautiful hotel itself. And you talked about how you had a vision of a conference center for this area.
Yes.
So now that it's built, do you see the national patronage for it that you envisioned and dreamt of in the beginning? Do you see that happening?
I see some of it happening. I see people, various institutions coming here to hold their conferences. For instance, I think the nurses, or is it one group or the other, involved with health delivery. They've ever held a national conference here. I think the police high command, the military high command, they've come here for their one of their conferences also. I've seen other groups like that, national in character. They've come here for conferences. So other people could also take advantage and come here for their conference.
It's wonderful. That's wonderful. If you just joined us, we're talking to Justice Francis Corbier. He is a retired Justice of the Court of Appeals. He happens to be one of the driving forces behind the creation of the Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort, also known as Jirapa, Dubai. And we'll find out a little bit more about the name Jirapa Dubai from Justice Corbier in a little bit. But I want to bring back Justice Donlabong Dina. Now, Justice Dina is the regent for Jirapa Traditional Area. So, of course, you are the custodian of the tradition of this particular area. So tell us about it. I mean, what is unique about Jirapa tradition for someone sitting in Takoradi right now or in Accra listening to this and thinking, ooh, I want to take my family there. What is it that makes Jirapa's tradition so unique?
Thank you once again. Jirapa, I have always called it a Mecca in the Upper West region.
I see.
It is a town that is very welcoming, and the people are very warm, and there are so many tourist sites in town, and people that come to town, some of them don't even want to go. I can tell you that they've posted some people to Jirapa, they have retired and they have their buildings raised in Jirapa and they are living here.
It's very easy to do that.
And I want to say that Jirapa has been is a center of the Upper West region. It's very central.
Geographical
center, and we have given birth to a lot of things that will amaze you if I begin to mention. I don't know if you know, we gave birth to credit unionism.
Really?
In the whole of Africa. Not even in Ghana, just the whole of Africa. We have in the three northern regions, the only girls' school. We have the hospital. That's what the Catholic Church has come to offer us. So much that the people feel that we are a people that are very welcoming to every other person that comes. So we are reaping the benefits of dealing with every other religion that has come to town. And we pride ourselves as pace setters in the region. Like I said, where we are sitting now is another place, very magnificent, that no other district or municipality in the region, they're all jealous Jirapa for having such a facility. So we have always been the first in every other thing. And we mourn, or we've laid to rest our paramount chief, Na Ansule Kana I, who was the Inspector General of Police from Jirapa.
Oh, wow.
So it's just not the tourist side. We have the men. We have contributed a lot to Ghana. And we are still doing just that.
No doubt.
And we haven't stopped. In fact, we are continuing every day. Yeah. So Jirapa is home to every other person that might want to come. And they will, rest assured, they will not want to go back.
If you just switched on your TV and you're tuned into the JoyNews channel or perhaps Joy Prime, this is the AM show. It's also Prime Morning. If you're listening to your radio, if you're tuned to Joy 99.7 FM, this is the CIMG radio program of the year, the Super Morning Show. We're coming to you live from the Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort here in Jirapa. It's known as Jirapa, Dubai. Justice, why?
Well, Jirapa Dubai is the nickname of the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel or Safari Resort. The name came about because when the hotel came up, it was very brightly lit. And if you remember Accra, Dubai, when Kwame Nkrumah interchange was constructed, it was very brightly lit. And people, because the original Dubai is very brightly lit, people easily compared Accra interchange or Kwame Nkrumah interchange to the original Dubai. So they started calling the interchange Accra Dubai.
Right.
In similar vein, because the hotel was so brightly lit, they started comparing it to Accra, the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, and therefore they nicknamed it Jirapa Dubai. That is how the name came about.
Wow. And I've got to tell you, it's absolutely true. It's one of the things that struck me. When you go into the compound, you know, where the swimming pool, the public swimming pool is, you realize that they've used these very interesting looking tiles to make out the entire grounds, right? So these tiles capture the sun, reflect the sun onto the white walls around it. And when you are standing anywhere in that compound, you feel like you are bathed in light. It's beautiful. It kind of reminds me of some of the tourist attractions in Dubai, including the big mosques that have these compounds. When you walk into them and you get this play of light that just makes you, that illuminates the place in a unique way. I don't know who the architect was for Jirapa Dubai, but he certainly was a talented person. And you need to come and see this and experience it for yourself. What we're doing here is we're trying to point to a hidden gem and ask why it's been hidden. And as a traditional leader, I mean, I'm curious about this. How does the local government explain to you the fact that they haven't harnessed the beauty of this place and, you know, made it so that there are buses and buses of people coming in every day? How do you explain this?
Thank you. I told you, Jirapa, we have a unique character. We believe in the let's wait and see what becomes of something. Instead of contributing directly to see to it that something that is on the earth is it comes to light, we always sit back and expect it to grow by itself so that we can come and take advantage of. But I think that since the hotel has come, it has kind of reawakened our spirits to know that we have to consciously take the decision that we need to move, but not to relent or sit back and wait for development to come to us. But that was what we used to be. We sat back and expected that the politicians or philanthropists will come and just pick us up and begin to polish us up the way it should be. But since Bro Eric came and put up this place, the employment he's given to people and people that we don't even expect to come, like JoyNews is here. When they come, at least it opens the mindset of our people. And when you go to town, you know that you will see that people are very ambitious now, and they are hoping to exploit every other opportunity that comes their way. I think we have woken up. We were actually sleeping in that regard. In fact, but we thank Bro Eric Johnson for this decision and the wake-up call. We are standing up to the challenge, and then that's why we will always want that every other TV station or every other network that wants to come to town to capture our stories. We have a lot to say, and you are just doing that. And I want to thank you for taking or making the decision to come to town to bring or expose what we have not been able to do. So I thank you sincerely for coming to town.
Trust me, it's been a pleasure. Emphasis on pleasure. And of course, we've been talking about how places like this really should be added to the national plan for tourism. Let's talk about that. I mean, is Jirapa Dubai poised and ready to take on some of this traffic of tourists that we're trying to attract into the country?
Yes, I think so. Jirapa Dubai is very well placed and ready to take on tourists in their numbers. It's less than 1 hour drive from the Wa airport.
Yeah.
And anybody who wants to come to Jirapa Dubai can easily catch a plane from either Accra or Kumasi and fly to Wa. And I know for a fact that the hotel has buses always placed at the Wa airport. We can then drive them straight to the hotel. So Jirapa Dubai is ready to bring people from all over Ghana to Jirapa Dubai in their numbers. So Jirapa Dubai is poised to bring people and to host them in very pleasant, world-class hotel rooms. I'm sure you slept in them.
Oh, we did. We slept.
You can testify yourselves to that fact.
Yeah.
So Jirapa Dubai is willing and ready, more than ready, to host any number of people. I'm sure you can easily count the number of hotel rooms that are here.
Over 100 of them.
Yes, over 100 of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when we come back, we'll actually start to explore the practicalities of this. You know, what we need to start doing physically. You know, what the Ghana Tourism Authority needs to do with urgency. You know, to add places like this to the big plan. You know, Year of Return is coming up, or the what is it called? Beyond the Return.
Beyond the Return.
Yes, is coming up December. You know,
To remember.
yes, this conversation is exactly what needs to feed into the big plans of the national organizers of such events. When we come back, we'll explore a little bit more the history of Jirapa Dubai. We have Reverend Father Ben Bacheye, I hope I've said that right. Bacheye, who is an integral figure in this area. He will talk about the role the Catholic Church is playing in the development of Jirapa. And of course, the future that we all envisage for this beautiful, beautiful corner of the country. This and more coming up when we return from the break on radio. But on TV, don't touch your sets. We're going to take you on a very quick tour of some of the most beautiful sights that surround us here at Jirapa Dubai.
Royal Cosy Hills Resort here in the Upper West region. And behind me, you can see the zebras beautifully roaming here. Oh, it seems one is getting closer. Right, and I have here with me Aziz. Aziz, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yes, it's good to see the whole team here.
Yes. We're actually excited. We've had a fun-filled moment the entire time since we arrived. Now, let's talk a little bit about the safari, okay, in general. What is really here in the safari?
All right, so in terms of your tourism needs, this is your last stop. I can guarantee this is the best place to see wildlife, most of the animals as if they are in their natural habitat. You know, aside the zebras, we have about 9 different species of antelopes, including the biggest type of antelope known as the eland. It's about 7-8 feet tall. We have duikers, we have impalas, we have nyales, we have kob, we have bushbacks. And this is the only place in Ghana you can see hippopotamus out of water. I mean hippopotamus on land. We also have giant tortoises. We have the lions. In fact, a rare breed of lion known as the white lions. Yeah. We have them here. We have other cats like the jackals, the civet cats. We have baboons. We have alpacas, we have ostriches, all in one place. So in terms of all your wildlife tourism needs, Royal Cosy Hills is your last stop.
Right, Royal Cosy Hills is your last stop. Earlier I was saying that if you are looking for, that Christmas, vacation or time to spend with family, friends, and I would say that please don't waste money going outside of the country to have a safari experience. We have everything right here at Royal Hills Cosy Resort. And let's talk a little bit about the zebras. So yesterday I came on tour and then I saw them, and one of the tour guides did mention to me that all the zebras that you're seeing, their stripes are individually different. How true is that? Yes. That the stripes on the zebras are not the same. Individually, they are different.
That is perfect. The stripes on the zebras are just like the human thumb prints. The same way you can't find 2 people with the same thumb print is the same way you can't find 2 or more zebras with the same stripes. There will definitely be something different. Either the white is not pure white, the black is too deep. Others, you have them vertical, horizontal. There is always something unique about every zebra. And zebras are strictly herbivorous. That is why they are left to roam freely within our safari ranch. And they have a lifespan of approximately 20 years.
20 years?
Yes, and they have a gestation period of 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
Yes, and they mostly give birth to 1 calf, or maybe, let me just say 1 baby at a time. Right. Yes.
Then I think that we need to do everything in our capacity to keep them because they are not much. Since they don't give birth too much.
Exactly. So we have lots of them in the park. This is the free range part of the park where we don't necessarily confine the animals. They are left to roam freely within the park. So you don't exactly know where and when to find what animal. It's kind of like, let me say, a game of chance. So much fun. You're moving around. You can just come across any animal at any point in time. However, let me emphasize that animals that are left to roam freely in the free range are the animals that are not aggressive. the worst they can do is run away from you. For example, the zebras are very friendly. See how close we can get to the zebras. They are not the type of animals that will attack the antelopes, the cobs, the bushbucks, the nyales, the impalas, the elands, warthogs. These are not animals that will attack you. They are not aggressive. The aggressive animals within our safari ranch are confined. And where the animal is aggressive like that of the lion, the confinement is electrified for additional protection, both for the animal and our guests.
How close can you get to the zebra if you're saying they're not harmful?
In fact, on a good day, you can touch the zebras. Yes, they are.
Is this not a good day?
It depends on what they are doing. Sometimes when they are mating or about to mate, they don't want disturbances. So you can be like maybe a meter, 1 or 2 meters away. But you can really get like 1 or 2 meters close to the zebra. And assuming they are eating and just minding their own business, they don't mind if you walk in between them. We do that all the time. They don't mind. It's just that when they are in that period, I suppose they want to have some privacy. You see?
Okay.
Even that, you can still go like 2 meters close to the zebras. The elands, the cobs are very, very friendly. These are animals that you can get really, really close to, take close pictures, selfies with them, and all that.
Oh, I wish I could take selfies with the zebras. But then this and so much more that we're about to show you right here in the safari of Royal Cosy Hills Resort in the Upper West region. Like I said earlier, if you're looking for that perfect Christmas getaway with family, friends, and loved ones, please don't pay thousands of dollars to go outside the country. You should grow tired by now. You should learn to save some money. Okay, so you just hop on a flight, just book a flight and hop on it and come all the way to the Upper West region and have yourself a great time to see all these various animals in the safari. And we can't wait to show you the lions and, you know, the antelopes and all that. So
yes,
viewers...
The hippopotamus,
the hippopotamus,
the alpacas, the ostriches, the giant tortoises. We have a 68-year-old grandmother tortoise. You will love to see it.
And I can't wait to show you. So make sure that you stick and stay, okay? We'll be right back.
304 102 or 103. You can also call 0544 349 855 or 0531 018 643. Nexans. We electrify the future. Electricity no get leg. It be Nexans cable, metal cable, they carry 'em.
Because there's something big happening in Kumasi from today to the 8th. This is because our comrades, the Public Services Workers Union, they are holding their 11th Quadrennial Delegates Conference from today to the 8th in Kumasi. It's on the theme, Strengthening Public Sector Institutions, a Catalyst for Economic Development, the role of the union. And we're talking about credit unions here, right? Yes, of course. And they have the Quadrennial Youth Conference, which will be happening, and the Quadrennial Women's Conference from 4th to the 6th. The main conference is from the 6th to Friday, the 8th of December, 2023. Official opening is on the Thursday, 7th of December, by the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, Ignatius Bafwa. The Public Service Workers Union has, across the country, some 65 public sector organizations and a membership of 26,000 who will all be in Kumasi. And you should know that it started in 1959. That is when the PSW was established.
All right. Well, listen, Access Bank and Graphic Business are bringing you yet another SME Fair for 2023. They're giving you and the general public the opportunity to shop for home appliances, personal effects, or office items this festive season in the 2023 SME Fair. The fair is themed Running Sustainable Business in a Challenging Economic Landscape. Okay, it brings together businesses from electronics, furniture, art and beauty, food and agriculture, engineering, retail, and so much more to exhibit products at amazingly discounted prices. This is happening live at the AMA Gardens from Thursday the 7th until Friday the 8th of December 2023. It's at 11 a.m. each day. Take advantage and get the best discounts and amazing deals this festive season. You want to know more? Call the 24-hour contact center. It's 0800 00 4400. Access Bank, more than banking.
I have good news for all those who are at the roofing stage of their projects, right? Now, if you want free installation, you should purchase your roofing sheets from Rockstead's Roofing Systems. This is between, of course, 10 November 1 till the end of this particular month, at the end of the year. Don't miss this exclusive offer. They are producing premium coated 55% ALZN aluminum coated and aluminum plain sheets at a very competitive price, and they're not compromising on quality too. Their profile includes snap lock, self lock, R25, IBR, AD1, and IDT. The tile sheet too. They have them in different colors and different thicknesses. There are also metal trusses available for all kinds of buildings. Their turnaround time is the best in the industry, 3 to 5 working days. They give you free estimate and free transportation, especially when you're within Accra and Takrade. When it comes to metal trusses, roofing sheets, ceiling joists, and POP cement, the only place to go is Rockstead's Roofing Systems. Call them on these numbers: 0544 338041 and 0243 690402. There are so many branches across the nation. Rockstead's quality and affordability.
The Super Morning Show is coming to you live from Jirapa, Dubai, the Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort. It's right here in the Upper West region, and so many Ghanaians have not yet had the pleasure of this experience. It is a wonderful expanse of luxury, beautiful buildings built on creative and innovative compounds with wonderful tiling that reflects the sun in this wonderful way, which is reminiscent of Dubai and other Eastern paradises. It's right here in the Upper West region. And next door, literally a few steps away from the luxurious room in which you sleep, are a bunch of lions. A pride of lions.
If you can listen keenly, you hear them roar.
Yes. If you're a light sleeper, you hear them devouring one of their 3 cows per week. And it's not just the lions, okay? All kinds of wonderful wildlife are available for you to experience. The legendary romantic tortoises that can mate for over an hour, and the beautiful zebra that make you wish you went to a disco. And of course, the wonderful
baboon.
hippopotamus, and the hippopotamus are wonderful to behold. These animals can run 30 kilometers an hour. They are so big and round. It makes you wonder how they can make such time over land. And did you know that no other wild animal has killed more humans than the hippopotamus?
Yes, not even the lion.
Charlie. But if you're going to take one thing away from our talk of hippopotamus, it should be the pronunciation of their name. It's hippopotamus, not
right.
hippopotamus. All right. And of course, you can come and experience them in the flesh right here at Jirapa, Dubai. It's not just them. You can get an experience with jackals. You can see warthogs walking around their watering hole. And peacocks, beautiful peacocks. There's one right behind me. If you're watching us on TV right now.
Very friendly.
There's a wonderful peacock just strolling casually in the background. Yes, we are absolutely surrounded by paradise. And it's just waiting for you to come and experience it. All right. We should get back into our conversation. Okay. And we are joined by Justice Francis Corbier. He's a retired justice of the Court of Appeals, and he, of course, is one of the people behind the inception of Jirapa, Dubai. Yes. Let us give credit to the man who made it all possible, Mr. Eric Johnson. He's our host. Gracious host indeed. Yesterday he sat with us for hours, regaling us with wonderful tales of his own journey and his return to his hometown of Jirapa to set up this wonderful place. Yes, indeed. We also are here with Justice Donlabong Dina. Now, Justice Dina is the regent of the Jirapa traditional area. He's the custodian of all the traditions of this beautiful place, and he's been educating us on them. Okay, so let's get practical. Before the break, I think Justice Corbier made it quite clear that the Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort, Jirapa, Dubai, is ready to play its role in Ghana's tourism renaissance? Let's start making it practical. And I'll start with Justice Dinah, the Regent. Now, we've seen this happen in other regions. We've seen the Volta region take matters into their own hands and start festivals and engage celebrities to come and visit their region and put it all out on social media for the world to see what is there. And the Volta region is enjoying a surge in visits. What can Jirapa and the region as a whole start thinking of practically to start drawing the numbers here?
Oh, okay, thank you very much. I think Jirapa is not doing any different as Volta is doing. Last year, the youth they came up with a program where we called our own son Samini and then Wiala to come and take part. They actually came and performed. It was colorful.
Wow.
And it was more or less narrowed to Jirapa only. This year, a thing like that is coming up again. And we are bringing even other musicians, including our own people, like Kwame Eugene and others, to come and perform come January 1. And
beautiful.
It's going to be one of those activities that the youth will champion again, and all visitors and revelers will be welcome to Jirapa during that time. So Jirapa, we are, like I told you, after we've been reawakened by our own person, we've taken our destiny into our own hands. We are doing everything possible to project Jirapa the way it should be. Well, we've always been that pace setters, so we wouldn't go back again. We are out from the woods, and then we'll walk and show the world that we are a people to reckon with when it comes to tourism and hospitality and other activities.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Now, if you just joined us on the JoyNews channel, this is indeed part of the AM show. We're coming to you live from the Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort in Jirapa. They call it Jirapa, Dubai. And for those of you who are watching us on Joy Prime, this is Prime Morning. We're all the way out here with Asiedua, who has been going around and meeting all the beautiful animals, making friends with them, some of them getting a little more friendly than others. But, well, they cannot be blamed for having good taste. Okay, Justice Corbier, a hotel cannot survive without patronage.
I agree.
You have this beautiful place, but it is so far from the urban centers of this country. What's the plan to make this place more accessible?
Thank you for the question. As I explained earlier, the hotel is quite accessible. It's probably just that people don't know how to get here. And I explained that we have Passion Air that flies to Wa, I think 6 times a week. They don't fly only, I think I know of Tuesdays. But if anybody who wants to come here, all they need to do is to inquire. And they will be told when they can book and get to Wa Airport. The hotel has buses that are stationed at the airport, and the buses, one bus or the other, will bring them to this place. If you cannot fly to Wa, you can get a bus at the Circle. There are several stations at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, which they commonly call Circle. That
Or Accra, Dubai.
Or Accra, Dubai. Good. That come to Jirapa Street. Or you can go to the STC yard and join a bus that either comes to Wa or goes to Nandom or Hamle and drop at Nadoli. And then you pick a taxi and come to Jirapa. So there are several ways that sorry, people who want to come to Jirapa, Dubai can come to Jirapa, Dubai. And these are some of the ways that I've just mentioned. So it's not too difficult to come to Jirapa, Dubai if you want to come, either by air or by road. Yeah.
Do you have plans in the coming years, to host special events that those who are coming to visit Ghana during the seasons, whether Christmas, Easter, and so forth, can add to their itinerary and fly or drive here for a day or two to experience such events?
Yes, the regent has mentioned one event, which is towards the end of the year. We actually used to have a festival called the Bongo Festival. Unfortunately, it's not functioning right now, but we are doing our level best to, to revive it. And when things settle down, it will come on again. And the Bongo Festival comes on sometime in April. When it used to come on, it was a very big affair. And all the chiefs under the auspices of the paramount chief would come, and then would have other people coming. In fact, people used to come from Accra. And we hold it. It used to be a 3-day affair. In fact, it would start for about 4 days, but the climax would be for 3 days. And the very climax would be a day where we would have the Deba of chiefs and then a special guest. I'll tell you what, when late President Rawlings was president or chairman before then, almost every year he used to attend the Bongo Festival. But later on, other people would also continue to attend. And when Na Ansule Gana II, former IGP Peter Namfuri was paramount chief, he saw this thing at its zenith. I think it's when he grew too old to come home that the thing then started going down until we were no longer celebrating it. But we are hoping that when we install another paramount chief, the thing will take off again. So we have plans to revive the Bongo and make it work again. And that will be another tourist attraction for Jirapa.
Yeah. We're talking to Justice Francis Corbier. He is a retired Justice of the Court of Appeals, one of the brains behind Jirapa, Dubai. Justice Don Labong Dina is with us. He's the regent for the Jirapa traditional area, giving us some wonderful local knowledge about what is in store for you if you make the trip to Jirapa. Now, I actually haven't mentioned perhaps the most exciting way to travel to Jirapa, Dubai. It's by helicopter. That is an option available to you as well. There's a helipad here. I told you about the presidential villa, right? Biggest, nicest presidential villa I have seen at any hotel facility in the world.
With indoor swimming pools.
Yes, it's got everything. It's got everything. That place is massive. You can see images of it right now on your screen if you're watching Joy Prime or JoyNews, okay? And there's a helipad. So you can travel here by helicopter. All right, if you really, really want to impress the heck out of your date, tell them I'm taking you to dinner in Jirapa.
Yes.
And bring them by helicopter. It'll take less than an hour, I suppose. You'll be here, you'll have your meal, and you can stay the night and go back the following day. I mean, I can't think of a better way. After that, if the deal is not done, then it's from your home.
It was not meant to be.
Well. All right, listen. Let's start thinking about the future and what we expect, what we want. Ghana and its government wants to invest in tourism. if you could say one thing to the authorities who are leading this charge, what would it be? Nah.
I will ask them to develop the tourist sites that we have in the municipality to the level that even those outside the country can appreciate. I think that we have areas that will incite people or would attract foreigners to come around to visit Jirapa and Upper West for that matter, should the areas be developed to its fullest. So I will ask authorities to consciously or accept to come to Jirapa and develop the tourist sites that we have, like the Willing Mushroom Rocks that you saw that there's a very rich story behind it, but it doesn't seem to have the contributions of the authorities such that it could be developed into a modern site for people that will want to visit there. You go there, most often you don't even get somebody to tell you the story until we draw their attention. And it's the story I have been told about that place is so fascinating that if you come and you are told, you may want to assist us to develop the place. So I will want to take an opportunity of your medium to encourage the tourists or the authorities or the powers that be to turn their attention to Jirapa to develop our tourist sites.
Wonderful. Justice Corbier, what is that one thing that the state or the authorities, whether tourism authorities or national government, can do to support the work of someone like Eric Johnson, an investor who is pumping so much money into the tourism sector here in Jirapa? What can the state do to support?
Well, I think to begin with, the system, without meaning to criticize anybody or sound political, the system is not working the way it was meant to work. If, for instance, the District Assembly Common Fund was being paid regularly, and the assemblies, for instance, the Jirapa Municipal Assembly was getting its fair share or its regular contribution from the District Assembly Common Fund, they would have enough money, as the regent has said. They would probably have enough money to develop the tourist sites within the Jirapa municipality without necessarily waiting for central government to come and develop these things. And the assembly again could assist Jirapa Dubai without waiting for central government. So the assembly not being able to play its role the way it is meant to play that role is part of the problem for this beautiful outfit called Jirapa Dubai. I think that is the way I see it. But looking at the bigger picture, there's a tourist authority. They could probably look at Jirapa Dubai and come directly and assist. Because as you kept pointing out, this is a tourist attraction which is in a very remote area, especially in terms of the tourist map. So they could go out of their way and try to assist, especially by putting it on a tourist map and giving it some amount of publicity. If they did that, I think that in itself would go a very long way to assist. One will not even say, come and put some money here, because this is a private enterprise. But they have their own way of helping tourism in this country. And that's all that I'm saying they should do. Do your part and let the private entrepreneur do his part so that the PPP that they tout so much would work. Public-private enterprise or partnership that is supposed to be a government policy should work. I don't see it working. So when somebody tries his level best as a private entrepreneur and nobody, the public side is not helping, then there's a problem. And I think that is one of the problems that Jirapa Dubai is facing. He's a private businessman. He's working very hard, but I don't see the public support that he's supposed to get coming to him.
Very important point made there. I really appreciate that. And you know, in order to understand, the the size of the problem, when we come back from these messages, Raymond is going to give us a snapshot of the details that the state itself has provided about Jirapa and its surrounding areas. And then we are going to introduce our two next guests. You'll be hearing from Aziz Pelpo. He's a tour operations manager here at Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort. And then Reverend Father Ben Bacheye will join us. He's a parish priest for the St. Joseph's Catholic Church here in Jirapa. But I want to say a big thank you to Justice Francis Corbier, retired Justice of the Court of Appeal, and Justice Don Labong Dina, who is the regent for the Jirapa traditional area. I really appreciate your time with us this morning. All right, this is the Super Morning Show on Joy. And on radio, we're about to take a very quick break. But if you're watching Joy News or Joy Prime, I want you to see that presidential villa for yourself. So stay tuned. Here it is.
Are fed 3 times every week.
Yes.
And we're lucky to see that process here that's going to take place in some minutes. Yes. Aziz, so tell me, where are they now? What are they doing here right now? What are the lions doing here right now?
So now they are in their confinement. Okay. That is what the process we go through to feed them. Okay. Because they are wild animals, they are not tamed. We always have to be cautious. Okay. So first of all, you have to ensure that we have 4 of them. 1 lion and 3 lioness. You have to ensure that they are in their confinement. It is locked and the key before they try to do any feeding. So what we have done currently is to ensure that all 4 of them are locked in the middle compartment, so that they don't have access to the left, they don't have access to the right. Then the feeders can have time to go into the main yard, pick the droppings, and then put the fresh.
So that's a lion roaring.
In fact, it's not roaring now.
It's not?
This is just the sound of the female one. You can hear the lions roar 7 kilometers away. This is not just the roar. This is the female one. Oh. Yes. It's just trying to scare you. This is just the female one trying to scare you. I wish you could hear the male roar. You know, usually in the wild, the females do most of the hunting.
Okay. So this is a female?
Yes. These 3, the first 3 in front are the female ones. Okay. And the male one is the one with the mane at the back, the hair at the back. So this one making the sound, those are all female ones. The only male is the one with the mane at the back. And generally or naturally, lions are highly polygamous. The male one can have between 15 to 20 females.
15 to 20?
Yes, and in terms of sexual intercourse, the lion can mate 50 times a day.
50 times?
Yes. Unfortunately, each mating session is just a few seconds, maybe 15 to 30 seconds, and it's done. So because of that, the male ones have lots of women or female ones around it. Okay. That is the reason why mostly when the lioness give birth to a male cub, the father would deliberately kill it to prevent future competition. Because here is the case, I'm the man, I want to have so many wives around me. If I allow you, my son, to grow, you are going to compete with me over the wives. So it's better I kill you so that you don't grow to be a competitor. That is how the lions behave.
Interesting.
Yes. And we have realized at Royal Cosy Hills that lions generally are very, very calm. They get aggressive mostly for two reasons. One, when the lion is hungry, it will attack you for food. Because the lion is strictly carnivorous. Yeah. So if it's hungry, it will attack you for food. The second is when there is danger. The lion will face the danger to protect itself. Yeah. So in order to keep them calm and healthy, we have to ensure that our lions are well fed, and then you give them a reasonable distance. Because they are territorial animals, they always want to defend their territory. So when you get too close, you become an intruder. So we make sure the lions are well fed, and then you give them a reasonable distance, and they will be as calm as any other animal. In fact, lions are generally very lazy. One of the animals that doesn't want to waste its energy, let me put it that way. So for example, if the lion is to attack, before attacking, it is very tactical. It will calculate which prey specifically is going after. And mostly it will go after the weakest prey. Maybe the one that is isolated from the group, or the one that looks smaller or weaker. That is the one that mostly the lions will target. And they will calculate how much energy am I going to use to get this prey. Maybe I'll run 200 meters to get this prey. After 200 meters, no matter how close it is, it will retreat because it doesn't want to really waste its energy. That is why it will calculate and be sure of what is going after before it starts the race or the chase.
Interesting. And you're going to feed them today. You're
Yes.
feeding them today, and you mentioned to us that you feed them 3 times, and you have to use, what, 3 cattle to feed them?
Yes.
Every week.
You know, as I explained
Every
earlier,
meal is a feast for them.
as I explained earlier, in order to keep the lions healthy and calm, you have to ensure they are well fed. And we feed them 3 times in a week. Though they can go 2 weeks without food in the wild, we make sure we feed them 3 times in a week. So Monday today is a feeding day for them. And as you know, they are already aware. They know the feeding days.
These are they.
You know,
Are they for-
they know. Dining hall is almost ready for them. Yes.
I mean, thankfully, we are not
And
male for today.
I think the way the female one is staring at you, see the eyes.
Yeah.
I think he's saying this guy will be good for breakfast.
Definitely not me. So what? 3 cattle every week.
Yes. Each meal is a full cow. Lions take strictly meat, not necessarily beef or cow.
Yeah.
But the readily available one here is the beef or the cow. For beef or cow, once you have the money, it's readily available.
Yeah. And you're saying what? They don't like leftovers? They like it always fresh?
Yes, lions want their meat fresh, and they don't eat carcass, and they don't also like fatty meat, like fat.
Okay.
So, for example, pork, they don't really like pork because of the fat.
Okay.
And leftovers, they don't want it. They really want it fresh. They don't eat dried meat or smoked meat. They just want it fresh. Yes.
So we want to see the process, how you feed these lions, 4 of them, right?
Yes, sure.
We want to see how you feed these 4 lions, and want to know what the process, is like. So can we start right now?
Okay, so before we start the process, let me just explain to you. We have more than enough space for our animals. So you see, the den is divided into 4 chambers. This is one chamber, this is another, and that is another. So now what we're doing is that they are only enclosed in this particular chamber. They can't go to the next chamber, neither can they go to the next chamber. So now for the guys to do the feeding, we come all the way here.
Okay.
This door goes into the main yard.
Okay, so this is the main yard.
So now we are very sure that the animals are confined. They don't have access to the main yard.
Okay.
So what is going to happen now is that the feeders will go in through here, clean the place, place the meat advantage points.
Okay.
Then once you come over here, you can release this. If we release this, they can have, if I pull this, they can have access to the next chamber.
Okay.
So once they go into the last chamber, there's a pulley system. If you pull this rope, the small door opens, they run into the main yard to pick the feed. So in about just the next minute.
So we're gonna see that.
That is exactly what you are going
Okay, so we'll be seeing that in some minutes. But you've done also everything possible to make sure that they feel at home. So they feel like they're in their natural habitat.
Yes.
Tell us what you've done, in this cage to let them feel like they're in their natural habitat.
We don't want to keep our animals in cages or small cages. We want them to feel as natural as possible. So what we have done is that we have made the place very, very, very spacious. Yeah. We have deliberately left the logs in there. Yeah. We have left some trees. We have also made some higher grounds for them to feel as natural as possible. Mostly they like higher grounds, especially for the male to roar. Yeah. Dusk and dawn, they roar to announce their presence. So that is what we have done. We've left the grasses as natural as possible, the trees, deliberately placed some logs inside there. And more importantly, for the safety of our guests, our tourists, and that of the animals, we make sure that the inner perimeter or the inner fence is electrified. And in case we even miss the national grid, we still have solar backup and we have the battery backup. Yeah. So we have 3 at a go. And then we have the outer perimeter, which is a safer perimeter for our guests. Okay. So now, if we in here, the
meal is set.
So now the meal is served. The lions have been released into the last chamber. Yeah. You can see them in here. Yeah. So finally, now you hear the sound. Yeah. Yes. So they are in the last chamber now, ready to go out and do the feasting. So if the feeders pull this rope, the lions will run out and pick the feed. So I think you want to see how they will run out to pick the feed. So in your count, we pull. So by your count. So by your count, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Okay. See them running out. Yeah. And they are coming to pick the feed. You see? Yeah. Okay, the male is not aware there's one left for him. Yeah. So he's going to come for it. Yeah. So that is it.
So you have someone who's been monitoring these lions?
Yes, we always make sure that the aggressive animals, aside the electrification of the fence, there is someone stationed there to give us minute-by-minute updates. To study the behavioral pattern of the animals and report to us, so we can keep track of the activities of the animals. Not just the animals, but also the safety of our guests. So every minute they have to record what is happening in terms of the electric fence and also the attitude of the animals. For example, these guys here can tell us that, maybe the male one is not very active. So you monitor it for a while, then you try to understand what the problem is. Or you can say that one is getting too aggressive. It's unusual. Yeah. So we make sure that there's somebody placed at vantage points where you have the aggressive animals. There's always somebody to monitor and update us regularly.
So when you're sick and maybe they have to get an injection or something, they have to be tranquilized before? Because I can imagine giving an injection to a sick lion.
Well, maybe Dr. Agbagba can try it. Yes, but you are very right, These are wild animals. Yeah. They are not tamed. Yeah. So for you to get them out, depending on what the problem is, sometimes you can just give them antibiotics through the drinking water. Okay. But if it becomes necessary, first we use the same method we use in feeding them to separate them. Okay. So for example, if we are targeting the male one, we use the same method to separate the male one. And once it is separated, it is tranquilized. Okay. And then whoever comes here, as you can see me with a live rifle, whoever comes here, be it during the feeding or to separate them or whatever, there must be somebody, an armed guard on standby. But after tranquilizing them, then you can take that animal out. The vets will attend to it and then take it back.
Okay. In wrapping up this conversation, for those who have not had the opportunity to see lions, what do you want to tell them? I'm sure they're seeing this on TV and they're like, wow, we want to experience this. What do you want to tell them?
I can assure you that Royal Cosy Hills is the best place to see lions as if they are in their natural habitat. In fact, we have a rare breed of lion known as the white lion. This is the only place you can see it. And imagine the lions eating naturally.
Yeah.
This is the best place. And I want to emphasize that we take the safety of our guests, our staff, and our animals very, very, very seriously. So we make sure that our guests are protected, our staff are protected, and the animals are protected and respected as well. So for example, we know the lions are territorial. That is why we have given them a reasonable distance. We want to respect them. They are well fed because we want to respect their rights and everything. So this is the best place you come. You are very, very, very safe. Our inner perimeter is electrified, and then the outer is the safer perimeter for tourists. And before you do any tour here, you come with a tour guide. No tour happens without a tour guide.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Great. So we've just had that wonderful experience. Honestly, this is the first time I'm seeing these lions. Lions actually eat carnivorous animals, having a good time in their cage.
Okay, so I've had a wonderful experience. Viewers, like, this is a must see, it's a must watch. You ought to be here. You ought to be here. You ought to be at the Royal Cosy Hills Resort here in Jirapa, in the Upper West region. And I've had a field day already to watch these the lion and his queens, the lionesses, being fed. You saw videos earlier of them in the cage, just awaiting the meat for them to devour, and how they came running out of the cage just to feed on the meat. It's incredible. And earlier, like what Aziz mentioned, the tour manager over here, he mentioned that these are white lions, which is rare. White lions are quite rare, and we have them right here at the safari of Royal Cosy Hills Resort. It's a must watch. This is the perfect place to be, to spend quality time with family, friends, and loved ones. Earlier, I was saying that you need not spend so much money in, traveling out of the country to a different African country just to have a feel of these beautiful animals in the safari, when you can have them right here in Ghana, specifically in the Upper West region. It's a beautiful sight to see over here. The Lion King and his queens, they are still enjoying their meal, trying their best to devour the meat that has been fed, that has been given to them. Earlier, Aziz was saying that these lions are fed thrice every week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the funny thing is that he said that the lions are always aware of their feeding days. They do know their feeding days, and it was very obvious in the previous video that earlier that we were taking off these lions in the cage, and it's incredible. You don't want to miss out on this great adventure right here at the Royal Cosy Hills Resort. I've had a field day, and I'm excited to be here. I'm ecstatic to be here, to have experienced all this. And so, viewers, if you are not here, you are missing out. If you are planning to go outside of the country to a different African country just to see this, and we are yet to see the tortoise, the alpaca, the antelope, all the rest of the animal. Warthogs actually are here as well. And so we can't wait for you to feel every single part of the safari right here. And mind you, the entire safari is seated on a 350-acre land. This is huge. It's enormous. I mean, just driving through the safari, it's unending, if that's how I should put it. And so just come and have a wonderful experience right here in the Upper West region. And yes, it's not much. It wouldn't be much as compared to how much you would have to spend to go to a neighboring African country to experience a safari. And so, Kojo and Raymond, over to you. Yes, please make sure that you don't go anywhere. There's so much coming your way, okay? Don't tune out. My name is Asiedwa Akumia.
So much. As I said, it's a dream come true. And we urge our brothers out there, whoever that hasn't had the experience with this facility, please, you don't need to travel to South Africa. Just come, join hands with the youths in Jirapa, and I tell you, you have an amazing experience.
I'm sure you are enjoying the cool breeze.
Yes, we don't want to leave. That's Martin Jirapa there. And, Martin is disappointed, that the state doesn't seem alive to the opportunities here. But what tends to happen is that where the state doesn't show a presence, organizations like the church sometimes step in to assist in development, and Jirapa is no exception. The church, the Catholic Church, has a wonderful history with the people of Jirapa. Reverend Ben Bacheye, tell us a little bit about the role the Catholic Church is playing in the development of Jirapa.
Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to throw some light on the impact of the Catholic Church in the development, in fact, of the entire Northwest, as it used to be called, and now the Upper West region.
Yes.
Geographically, the Northwest and Upper West region, they are co-terminus. Our traditional leader, in his remarks here, made it clear that his grandfathers have always welcomed people from different cultural backgrounds. And it's in that spirit that the first chief of Jirapa, Na Ghana, welcomed the Catholic missionaries to Jirapa on the 30th of November, 1929.
Wow.
As we talk now, the presence of the Catholic Church here in Jirapa is 94 years old. And Jirapa is the birthplace of Catholicism in the entire Northwest, in the Upper West region. It's from here the Catholic faith started and started spreading to other parts of the region, and even some communities in present-day Savannah region. You can imagine our situation way back in 1929. No health care. We understand it was in Laura, there was a dispensary, mostly for dressing of wounds. Nothing like any surgery, nothing like any major intervention. And there was nothing about a school in the area. Some of our earlier people who went to school had to foot to Tamale.
Wait. People walked from Jirapa to Tamale to go to school?
Yes, and even beyond Jirapa, like now SD Dombo. He walked on foot to Tamale to access school.
Hey, you, wait.
Can you believe those?
Let me work out the distance. Please continue.
Yeah. Or that's where the government school was by then. The Catholic faith was equally in Navrongo. In fact, it started 1906. And they had also opened a school. So if you wanted to access Catholic education from the Northwest, you had to foot to Navrongo to access it. If you wanted to access pure government public education, you had to foot to Tamale. This was the situation in 1929.
If you don't mind, I've just looked it up. Now, if you were to travel through Wa, which is the best road, driving from Jirapa to Tamale will take you 6 hours and 18 minutes.
Right.
That's the shortest journey.
Right.
If you go through any other route like Wogu or Tumu, Tumu is 7 hours 59 minutes, almost 8 hours.
Right.
If you go through Wogu, it's 7 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's driving.
Right.
If you are going on foot, it's 3 days.
Oh, yeah, or even more. Depending on the season.
Yeah.
And if it's a rainy season and you go and you have the tributaries of the White Volta all scattered in that entire east, you could go and the whole place is flooded.
So Dombo,
Yeah.
of the Dankwabuzia
Right.
Dombo tradition,
Right.
walked 3 days
Yeah.
to school.
To school.
Says Obo do now
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Please
other
continue.
colleagues. So you can imagine that situation. And these missionaries, the lead missionary was a Canadian, Reverend Father Remigius McCoy. There was another priest, Father Packet, and a brother. So these are the brothers, they do more constructional works. So 3 of them, now Ghana welcomed into Jirapa, and that was the environment in which they met themselves. So, no healthcare, no education. And apparently, in terms of education, it was a colonial kind of policy, literally to lessen formal education here so that our people could provide maybe cheap labor in plantations, in the mines, and maybe other construction works, down south. So when the missionaries came, and remember, this is a Canadian and then a Dutch. The other 2 have Dutch background, so they were not British. So now, and we are all coming from pre-First World War situations with that kind of still animosity between French and English.
Yes.
So they came, and this was the situation they met. So apart from learning the local language to be able to communicate a bit, they had to immediately begin to address healthcare, though they had no expertise. So the little malaria tablets they had to prevent themselves, they had to use that on the local people because they just saw a dire need. And education-wise, there was nothing they could do because there was no deliberate policy by the then government to bring education here. It took them 10 years to negotiate with the British authorities to permit a formal school to be opened in Jirapa. It took them 10
so
years. And if you read the history, the back and forth letters to the point that Father Remigius McCoy had to go to Britain in order to force the need. Here in Accra at that time, they said they didn't have the power to grant that. If
The colonial government in Accra.
if you could go and meet the authorities in Britain who have posted them here and they permit, they will be granted. And there's a lot of correspondence about that. So, thank God, 1940, the permission was granted and they opened the school. So you can imagine 10 good years of their presence until the first formal school was opened in 1940. They just could not but help because they saw that education was just the door to accelerate the development of the people. So once they had that opening, they invited another missionary congregation. They were nuns from Italy. They had teachers among them, and they had doctors and nurses also among them. So it was this congregation that this missionary priest handed the education aspects and the healthcare aspects to manage. So the sisters arrived in May 1939, while the negotiation was still going on for a permission to open the school. They had made the sisters to come because they had made a headway and they were sure that in a few months they would be granted permission to start. The health didn't suffer that much. They didn't have to suffer to get permission to treat sick people here. It was rather education. So as soon as school started, and the sisters were equally engaged in the healthcare system. And they started in their own convent, delivering our mothers, saving babies who would have otherwise died. In no time, Tamale was like the provincial capital at that time. So the health authorities, through the missionaries, heard about what these nuns were doing. So they came over. And now Ghana had organized the people to build mud huts, roofed with grass, to serve as whatever you call them, wards, or they were not wards as that, but where somebody could be, in private for some treatment to be done. But the quality of the service was what impressed the medical doctor in Tamale who visited for the very first time around 1946. So when he was impressed, under mud houses, under thatched roofs, such care could be given. If they were given a better facility, they could even improve and give better health care. So through the recommendation of that medical officer from Tamale, the missionaries began to negotiate with the government to build a hospital.
Wow, so that's how it started.
That is how it started.
Father, let's fast forward to today and the role the Catholic Church is playing in the community today. Obviously, you are still a catalyst for development. Several institutions are still under your care. But interestingly, you are also contributing to tourism, which is the focus of our conversation today. You have some interesting buildings in this area, am I right?
Yes, yes.
Tell us about them.
Yes, the infrastructure, our church building, where we hold our mass services, and also the presbytery, where the priests live, were actually built by these missionaries with laterite stone. Indeed, this area, this hill where we are, if you came about 15 years ago, it was a series of knolls with these large boulders of granite, not granite, laterite, this brownish kind of stone, laterite stone. It was in abundance on this hill. So the missionaries, when they discovered, used that and trained the local indigents to use literally axes to shape them into blocks and carted by head. Wow. From here, we sit at Royal Cosy to where our mission grounds are. You are talking about 2 to 3 kilometers.
Goodness. All by head?
All by head.
To build these, the residence and
the church
itself.
All mobilized by Ghana.
Listen,
because he so welcomed them, though he didn't even know them.
Yeah.
But with the welcome spirit that he had, he did all he could because he didn't even know what these people will do in the area.
Yeah. I bet he's glad he did. And of course, it's yet another reason why you should absolutely come and visit this area. Come and experience the wonderful architecture and, of course, the safari and all the great attractions here.
One thing I want to add is, so just as these missionaries were like the engine kind of development, initiative of development, was a wave of development, at that time. Presently, Royal Cosy Hills Hotel and the Safari is the second wave of development we see in the area. It's the second wave of development that will impact people, both in skill acquisition, like in hotel management, and its related, activities, and also empowering youth with employment. We see this huge facility as a big wave that can really impact the social and economic life of the people. Just as the Catholic Church at the beginning initiated that development. Currently, this facility has that huge potential to bring about another wave, another dimension of socioeconomic development in the area. And that is why I would like to continue to thank Mr. Eric Johnson for this huge foresight. Interestingly, we went to class 1 on the same day in Jirapa here.
Wow, you go way back.
Classmates, yes.
That is amazing.
Classmates, we both went to
That
school
is
on the same
amazing.
day to start education. So we have been close,
Ever
since that time till
That
now. And we
explains a
both
lot.
happen to come from the community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two visionaries. I really appreciate your time with us. I wish we had more. But you've already, regaled us with wonderful stories and information that really helps put what is happening here into great perspective. I want to thank you for that, Reverend Father Ben Bacheye, who is a parish priest at St. Joseph Catholic Church in Jirapa, and Martin Yiripare, who is from the Jirapa Municipal Education Office and former chairman of the Jirapa Municipal Youth. Thank you both so much for spending your morning with us. And thank you all who have been tuned in from the very beginning on radio and television to enjoy the amazing things happening here at Jirapa, Dubai. Look, I have a vision that one day very soon, when you're watching CNN and an advert of Ghana comes on, in addition to the images of the St. James Lighthouse and the Cape Coast Castle and Kakum National Park and all the drone shots of the waterfalls and all of that, you will also see Jirapa, Dubai, and the safari that is here awaiting your enjoyment. This will become a part of the Ghana story for everybody around the world to come and experience. That's my dream.
For the festivities, there's a wonderful safari experience, Jirapa,
the hippos. So we allow them to feed by themselves naturally. What we have just done is to bait them with food, fruits and vegetables as a bait for them to come out. So mostly when we have guests who particularly want to see hippos out of the water, that is the technique we use. We bait them with fruits and vegetables, then they come out. And let me also add that the hippo can eat about 40 kilograms of food every day. Whoa. Yes. And they weigh between 1,300 to 1,800 kilograms also. And they are the third largest mammals on land after the elephant and the white rhino. And these are semi-aquatic. They are able to live both on land and in water. But cumulatively, out of 24 hours, cumulatively they spend about 16 to 20 hours in the water. With the exception of feeding, almost everything of the hippo is done inside the water. They even mate in the water, they poo inside the water. They even have a mechanism that allows them to sleep inside the water.
And for how long could they possibly sleep in the water?
Oh, several hours. Wow. Several hours. Just that whilst they are not sleeping and inside the water, they will need to come out probably every 5 to 7 minutes. They will just come out with the head and then go back, take a breath, and then go back into the water. But whilst they are sleeping, that mechanism naturally allows them to sleep whilst in the water. And let me also add that though they spend so much time inside the water, hippos do not swim. They are not able to swim. No, they don't swim. So they walk under the water. And that is why they like clean but stagnant water. You don't find them in oceans and sea. They want lakes, rivers, where the water is a bit calm. And usually they will look for a very shallow part. So that is how the hippos behave. And they also have a lifespan of 40 to 50 years. And a gestation period of 8 months.
Okay, now let's get to the point before they came out of the water. So they were totally submerged in the water. But upon hearing the sound of the tricycle that the person feeding them, they started rearing out their heads just to, let us know that they can hear the sound of the tricycle approaching, or they can hear that somebody's bringing them food. And it was incredible how they just waited for the person feeding them to throw the food there before they make a move. I know the viewers saw that a little earlier when we were trying to show them how the hippos are fed. What really was the... I just want to understand the reason they had to wait for the person to pour the food before they came closer to the feed?
Just like humans, they also have a sense of judgment.
Okay.
They know how and when and who feeds them. So we usually would go in there with a tricycle. So each time they hear the sound of the tricycle coming closer to the water, then they know food is ready or somebody's bringing us food. So just like we say, you don't bite the hands that feed you, they will not also attack the one that feeds them regularly. So once they know the person is bringing them food, they wouldn't attack him. Though we are still cautious because hippos are they are very aggressive and highly unpredictable. You can highly predict their behavioral pattern.
Okay.
And they are very, very aggressive, especially towards humans. That is why, again, we have electrified the entire facility for the hippos, and then we give them a reasonable distance. But you see, once they hear the sound of the tricycle, no matter where they are inside the water and they hear the sound, then they assume somebody's bringing us supplementary food. So that is why they had to wait gently, even though they came out of the water, they waited
yes.
for the gentleman to carefully place the food, move away, and then they come.
So it's amazing. So if any other person, let's say me, was a part of them, was a part of the people that were bringing in the feed, and I wasn't necessarily the one who was pouring the feed there, would they still have sense that I'm not part of the person bringing the feed in, so they would probably try to attack me?
Depending on your distance from the one doing the feeding. If you are together, maybe two of you on the tricycle coming to feed them, that is still fine. They can still assume these are the people coming to feed. But assuming there's somebody feeding them and there is another person some 100, 200 meters away, you are definitely not part of these people that feed them. You know, I can't tell. These are not animals that are tamed. So it's not as if they know me or they know this person or that kind of thing. But what we are sure is that they know the sound and the tricycle that feeds them, and each time the tricycle comes in, they know you are bringing them food. So they wait patiently for you to do your thing, go, and then they come out to eat. And thankfully, each time the tricycle comes in, the tricycle actually brings them food. So they never come out of the water in vain. Each time they come out of the water, there is food for them.
Incredible. Now let's talk about the physical features of the hippos. Yes. I mean, looking at how the sun rays is just on them, their skin looks very shiny, and there's actually a distinct difference between the male and the female. Obviously, you see it in sizes. The male is slightly bigger than the female, and the female is slightly lighter in skin color than the male. What other distinct features are there in relation to the hippos? All
right, so you've just mentioned the very obvious one. The male usually is bigger in size and darker in skin color or complexion. The female is lighter skin, and if you look closely at the female, the face, you see it's as if it has put on some makeups. You know, that's the other gender. And generally, the hippos are very stout with very short legs. That is why they are not able to jump. And they have very wide and very strong jaw bones as well. So those are some of the features of the hippopotamus.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So earlier when they were waiting, or after the food was given to them, right, they were taking very slow paces towards the food. On a regular, what's the pace with which hippos walk? Because they were too slow for my liking.
All right, so you would realize that the gentleman who went inside to feed them, he moved the feeding trough a bit.
Yes.
So they were wondering, this is the original position every day. Why did he move it? So they have to be cautious, taking their steps one after the other to be sure it's not a trap. You know, they are also smart. They have a sense of judgment. This is where you feed us every day. Today, why did you move it?
Yeah.
So they have to be careful. That was why they took very slow steps and pace. But they can actually run a starting speed of about 30 kilometers per hour.
30 kilometers
Yes,
per hour.
so don't be deceived by their size. They can really
run.
Oh yeah, they can really run. Yes.
Okay. But at what point in the wildlife would they run? What would they be chasing after? What would they be running from?
Mostly, lot of animals don't prey on them.
Okay.
Because of the tough skin and the aggressive nature and everything. Though lions and other cats prey on them. You know, the inner part of the hippo is softer.
Okay.
So, for example, if the lion is to attack the hippo, it will try to go under it. And if it's a male, maybe grab the balls or something, or attack it from inside.
Oh.
Yes. But mostly, they will do that when they are rather chasing you, or maybe chasing somebody or some other thing. They can really run fast when they feel something unusual. They don't like light and sharp sound, like loud noise and lights. For example, if they were out here in the night and then you point light at them, you can see the speed at which they will run. They will run like 30 kilometers per hour back into the water. No matter where you find them, they run back into the water. And just as they are here, if you just bang something like sharp noise, immediately they will run back into the water. And also when they are about to attack, especially humans, if you get too close to them, they can really chase you of that speed.
Okay. All right, so we are still in the safari part of the Royal Cosy Hills Resort here in the Upper West region, specifically Jirapa, Dubai, and it's been amazing so far over here. We've seen the lions, we've seen the ostrich, we've seen, so we've done the zebras as well. We're yet to do the other animals, and we are just at the territory of the hippopotamus, and they're currently feeding. And so, viewers, what we will tell you is that it's Christmas time, okay? Just come and spend quality time with family, friends, and loved ones right here. But my colleague Maxwell Agbaba has a very interesting tour to take you on, which is the Presidential Villa tour right here at the Royal Cosy Hills Resort. And so just stick and stay and enjoy this very perfect view. And he was led by Flora, and so do enjoy this one.
Hey Maxwell.
Hi, Flora.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You're welcome.
Thanks so much. I'm glad to be here. So this is the VVIP
this
lounge?
This is the VVIP lounge, yes. This is where we hold VIPs when we have conferences.
Okay.
So this serves as a holding area.
Okay.
We also use it to give them their coffee break or something, just so that they are not mixed with the other people. So important people like yourself.
Oh! I feel flattered. Anyway, so where are we going? Are we going to the Presidential Villa now?
Yes, yes.
I've heard a lot about your Presidential Villa. You know, quite different from what I've seen in many parts of Accra.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I've seen that on the internet. Your Presidential Villa on the internet.
Right.
I've also seen it in some magazines, and I was like, wow, this looks like a mini Jubilee house, I should say.
It is. It's really huge, and it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful space to be. Yes. So one day when you're president, we will host you.
That's true. I really have to be president one day.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go there and then show me what it looks like. Oh, wait. So this is the Presidential Villa.
I know. This is our pool area.
This is the pool area?
Yes.
Within the Presidential Villa. Trust me, I've been to a lot of places, but I've never seen anything like this before.
An indoor pool.
Yeah.
Yes, we also host events over here. So as you can see, we have some setups done.
Okay.
So if one of our VIPs has like a birthday party or something, we're able to host them. So they don't have to go all the way to the hotels, restaurants, or anything. We do all here. Yes.
Okay. So tell me, it is the Presidential Villa, right?
Yes.
But I don't have to be a president necessarily, you know, to be here.
For now.
For now?
For now, all we do are presidents and their reps. So like ambassadors, like as I mentioned earlier, we've hosted a few ambassadors also here. Yes, so presidents, ex-presidents, ambassadors here.
Okay.
Yes. So if you also want to have like another experience of,
I also want to have like
a similar experience, but like yes, we also have executive suites out at the hotel space that can it also has
that is similar to what you have
this kind
here.
of vibe. Yes.
Yeah, but this is dedicated to presidents, ambassadors, and all of them. And you told me that you've had quite a number of them also visiting here.
Yes.
To experience this. I'm sure they've been sharing their experiences with you.
They have. So when they come here, it's like a home away from home. It's away
from home,
it's away from the traffic and the hustle and bustle of the city life. So you have like a rural life over here, quiet, very serene, very peaceful. But you also have everything that you need, everything that you'll be looking for in a city. You have everything here. Yes.
And I think so far that's the experience that we have. We've had, the experience we've had so far, here feels like home, away from home. And I think one of the things that's serving as the magnet, attracting a lot of people here is your safari as well.
Yes.
Right here in Ghana. I know people who travel to different countries just to have good safaris.
Yes.
Just to see hippos, just to see an African lion, just to see a zebra,
ostriches, alpacas,
and all of that. Here, right at our hotel, I saw some peacocks, moving around, just roaming around.
Mara. We also have some other animals, yes.
Tell me more about the safari ranch that you have here.
Yes, so we have so many species of animals in the space. The most interesting one that most people want to hear are lions. We have white lions. So many people find that interesting because they haven't seen or even heard about white lions. Yes, we
right
do have.
Here
yes.
at the Royal Cosy Hills
Hotel and
Safari Resort. You have lions here.
Yes. We have 3 white lions. We have 1 male lion and 3 lionesses.
Oh.
Yes, and we have a few cubs that are,
You have zebras.
We have zebras. We have elands. We have nyales, impalas.
Impalas, yes.
Ostriches, alpacas.
Yeah.
And all of so many other animals.
And there's also a man-made lake here. I saw people having a good time on a jet ski, on the boat, on the canoes.
Yes.
I'm like, wow.
Yes. So it's a whole thing. It's a holistic. We want you to experience everything. So if you're into water sports, we want you to experience the water sports. If you're into just nature, we have so many trees, plants, species also here that you can experience. You can see. Yes.
Let's move to the other parts of this presidential villa. In fact, I can see what's happening all around me, but you tell me that this is just a fraction of it. This is just a tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more, to see.
Yeah.
So I want you to lead me to the room so we can have, a view of that.
Yes. So over here around the pool, we have 5 rooms.
5 rooms.
Yes, that are meant for the security and some of the assistants that come with.
So that's a room.
Presidents. Yes.
Okay. So when I come out from my room, I can just walk out from my room and then just jump straight into this.
Into the pool. Yes. We also have a gym here. We have a quiet room. So especially Muslims, they want a quiet space to pray. Yes. We also have a room dedicated for that. So there's a quiet room out here. So this is the living area of the presidential
is the living
villa.
area
yes.
of the presidential villa, right? Indeed, it is presidential. It looks fit for royalty as well.
It's cozy.
Cozy. Yes. So fit for royals, cozy, Royal Cosy Hills Hotel.
Yes, that's where we got our name from.
I like that. And you have how many minibars here?
Yes, we have 2 minibars.
2 minibars here. Yeah. And how many aces can I count you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
We want you to feel cool when you're here. There's no sweat because
that's why the temperature is definitely right here. I like it.
Right.
I like it in here. Yeah.
Yeah, so this serves as the receiving area for people. So technically, this place is the entrance.
Okay, that's the entrance.
Yes, so when we have people, they come in through here.
Okay.
Yes, especially if they come with the helicopter. So they land on the helipad and then they come in through this door and then into the space. Yes, so we receive them here before they go to their various suites.
Wow. It's indeed beautiful, and I like the mini screens,
Yeah.
you know, here.
Yes.
Because the living
so that
area,
wherever you're sitting, you can still,
you can still
watch
have a good view of the
without.
screens. I can count how many: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's not just a living area where just 2 people can sit. You can have
You can have a
clusters.
whole.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
yes.
like 3 clusters.
Yes. So
you know, in
say
here.
the president is here, he can meet all
Yeah.
the officials of the area in one space.
And there can be another meeting happening right
over
behind
there.
you. Still in the living
Yes.
room area,
Yes.
and then another one here. And then obviously there must be some meeting also happening at the mini bar.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we're going to our next location, which is going to be.
Yes, to the suites. We'll take
Okay.
you to the suites. So downstairs we have.
Okay.
Should we stop?
Yeah.
So we're going to the presidential suite.
Okay.
Yes. The
So
main
from the living
attraction
room-
of this area. Yeah.
Okay. So from the living room, one thing I didn't mention, the living room, I really like the decor. I like the painting in there.
Oh, thank you.
I like everything in there.
We like
The furnishing
white.
and everything.
We like white.
You know, yeah.
You can
very,
see.
Very healing and very
Yes.
therapeutic. So this is another living room.
Yes, this is another living room.
This time, this one is upstairs.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is when if the president doesn't want to go too far, just right from his
Yeah.
suite, he can come and have meetings with his
Yeah.
close people.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
up
And
here.
by president, you mean any president, you know, from any part of the world, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Huh, I see.
Yes, so we have a board
Okay.
area
So there's
there
a
that you
meeting
can have
area.
a meeting.
Okay.
Yes,
And then
if you
there's
want,
also a
if you want
dining
it to
area?
be formal, yes, you can have formal meetings here or
Okay.
on the couches for informal. There's a dining area. We also have a mini bar
A mini bar.
up here too,
That's
and the screens.
Yeah, I see them
Yes.
here too. Beautiful. I love the temperature here too.
Yes,
Yeah.
everywhere is cozy. Cozy.
So we're going to another location now?
Yes, so we're going to the main suite, the presidential suites now.
Okay. But tell me, what are the options, you know, for getting here if I want to come to Royal Cosy Hills
Okay.
Hotel, you know,
Safari,
and
yes.
Safari Resort? Tell me, what are the options you know,
Right.
to get here? I can come by road, I can come by...
Come by air.
Okay.
Also, yes. So the Wa Airport
Yeah.
works, so you can come. So this is the main
Oh.
suite
Okay, so it's still
in
the presidential villa.
Yes,
Okay.
but the suite. And this is the kitchen.
This is the kitchen?
Yes, there are
That's
some of them
beautiful.
who come with their own chefs.
Okay.
Yes, they are private chefs.
So they can
to
make
come
use
in.
of
Yes,
this.
so they can cook for them over here.
Okay.
We have the dining area in the suite.
Earlier, I was asking you about the options if you want to get here.
Flight options. Please
Yeah.
have a seat.
The travel options. How do I get here? I know by road, by air.
There's by air too.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me by air. If I want to get here by air.
Okay, so you pick a flight to Wa.
Okay.
Yes, and then from Wa to Jirapa is about 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay, by road. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you get to Wa and then you take a bus. We do an airport pickup and drop off.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yes, and we're also able to make your flight reservations for you straight from the hotel. So when you call to make a reservation at the hotel and you want us to book a flight for you,
Yeah.
you just add the details and then we'll make the reservation and pick you up from the airport straight to Jirapa.
Oh, I think I will go for that option.
Yes, it's a better option, especially people who feel like it's too far,
Yeah.
they're not used to the long journey by road.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do by air to Wa and then we'll pick you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can also do by road also.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
do by road. Yes,
Yeah.
there are a few transport services. There's STC, there's VIP, so many transport services that come all the way here. Yeah, we have straight from Accra to Jirapa buses that come straight from Accra to Jirapa.
Okay. And I'm sure, I mean, in this in December, when we have a lot of people from the diaspora, coming to Ghana, they call it Dirty December, happening right here in Ghana. And a lot of my friends in the diaspora want to have an experience of the, safari.
Yes.
I'm sure you're really up to the task to give them a beautiful experience.
We are. So the experience starts when we pick you up from the airport. We do, apart from the safari tours that we do some eco tours also. So when we pick you up, we do a few tours in the Wa area, and then
the Mushroom Rock?
Yes, the Mushroom Rock is closer to the hotel than to Wa. But there's the Ancient Mosque, there's the Baobab Tree House, yes, that we do all of those tours. So when you land in the Upper West, you get the whole experience from Wa all the way to Jirapa, and then you do the safari.
It's a full bouquet.
It is.
I like that. And wow. So for those outside Ghana, those not within Ghana, if they want further details, I think they can just go to your website, right?
Yes. We have a website, IG. Yes, you can pick all of those details. You can call us.
So royalcozyhills.com or something?
Yes, royalcozyhills.com. And then we also have some of them, on all
social media, handles as well. Interesting. Okay. Our presidential villa tour is done.
Yes.
And I don't want to leave. I'll have to be a president first to be able to stay.
Yes, be a president or an ambassador.
An ambassador.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, the excitement continues right here at the Royal Cosy Hills, hotels and safari resorts. Safari resort is very important because indeed, this is where you get to have a better taste or a good taste of safari. If you really want to experience it, I mentioned it earlier, if you want to see zebras, if you want to see lions.
My goodness, what an experience it's been from the Royal Cosy Hills Safari Resort here in Jirapa. They call it Jirapa, Dubai, and I think you can see why, right?
Oh yes, definitely. And please make sure this Christmas you're spending it with family, friends and loved ones right here at the Royal Cosy Hills Resort. It's been an exciting one, hasn't it?
It absolutely has. If you miss Christmas, don't miss New Year. They've got a special event here for you. But look, we didn't do this alone. You see everybody behind me? These are the superstars that made this live broadcast possible. Couldn't have done it without them. This is the crew. This is the squad, the gang, the professionals who make Joy News and Joy Prime and Joy FM come alive every single day. And listen, on behalf of all of them, I say thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.